In this video, we're back with some more Splatoon 2. Now this time, we're going to be showcasing Turf War. Whether you're a new subscriber of mine, whether you stumbled on this video, or whether you're an old-time subscriber of mine and you watch my videos, I'm currently covering Splatoon 2 on my channel. I have a whole bunch of stuff on Splatoon 2, so feel free to look on my channel for Splatoon 2 content, because I am rolling out the Splatoon 2 content. Just like every other video, I have to mention that when it comes to these Splatoon videos or Nintendo videos, unfortunately, I am unable to provide you the in-game audio or sound effects. I wish I could do something about that, but unfortunately, I can't do anything about that. So you're not going to get any in-game audio or any sound effects from the game, unfortunately. Now, we are going to be taking a look at the mode Turf War, and before I actually go ahead and start the video, I wanted to say that if you're new to Splatoon the series, I highly suggest watching a video on my channel called Splatoon 2 The Basics, so you can kind of get the hang of Splatoon. You can kind of know what Splatoon's about and things like that if you're new to the series. Or hey, maybe you're an old-time veteran of this series, but you haven't played it in a while. That will be a good refresher of Splatoon if you haven't played it in a while and you want to refresh your memory on the Splatoon series. Now, here we go, looking at a mode Turf War. Now, to be able to play any of these game modes like Turf War, you do have to be level 10 or higher. So once you reach level 10 or higher, you can go ahead and play it. So you may be looking around your game and saying, how come I can't play these modes? Well, that's because you can't play ranked battle right here until you actually become level 10 or higher. I just want to make that clear, so if you don't find it, you'll know why you don't find it. Keep grinding, keep leveling up in the main game mode, and then you'll become level 10, and then you can officially play these ranked battle modes. Now, if you don't know what tower control is where there's a tower in the middle of the arena, and you gotta ink it, and then you gotta ride it back to, I think you have to ride it to either the opponent's base or your own base, and then once you do that, you automatically win the match. That's how you do it. You have to control this tower. It's basically like a Rainmaker. It plays exactly the same pretty much. You got something in the middle and you got to drag it back to one of the bases. I can't remember if it has to be your base or your opponent's base, but that's pretty much how you play tower control. And I think on each map, when you play tower control, there's a set path that the tower actually goes. So once you play each and every map, I'm pretty sure that the way the tower actually moves is a set way. It's on an invisible line, but the invisible line that you ride on when you ride the tower is actually the same in every single map. So once you start playing these maps, you'll kind of get the feel for it, and you'll kind of know how to get the tower. Now, of course, just like Rainmaker, if you play tower control and you don't get the tower back to one of the bases, then whoever has the most distance traveled will instantly win the match. Just like Rainmaker as well, there is instant KOs. So if you ride the tower back to the base in a couple of seconds, then you automatically win the match. It's definitely a KO, which is pretty cool. Now, before I actually go ahead and start a tower control game, I'm actually going to show you some weapons and some loadouts you can use if you want to try to become better at tower control. Without further ado, let's start the video. Now, once again, we are back into the place where you choose your weapon, your headgear, your clothes, all your accessories, and things like that. Now, for tower control, it's really hard to say what kind of abilities you want to use. Again, I said this before, it really depends on your playstyle and what you like. I've also said this before as well. I usually technically go for the specials. I always base my setup around the specials. That may not be the wisest idea, but whatever works for you, works for you. Now, for the tower, when it comes to the sub, I actually like using a sub that has a suction cup bomb. I think it's called, suction bomb. It's actually called suction bomb. So I like to use suction bomb. And you should either go for, in my opinion, if you're looking for specials, you should go for an inkjet, or you should go for Tenta missiles, just because people are going to be riding the tower, so they're going to be in a fixed place, and by using Tenta missiles or the inkjet, you're going to be baiting them off of the tower, so you'll most likely move off the tower once you release your Tenta missiles or you use your inkjet. You could go with Splashdown, but in my opinion, I don't think Splashdown's too effective in this game mode. And honestly, if I'm to pick, especially since you're on the tower as well, if you're thinking about some weapons you should use on the tower, I don't really think a roller would be the safest idea on this game mode, in my opinion. I just don't find it too effective. I think regular weapons are really effective here, Or for instance, like the ink brush is cool because you can hide while you're on the tower, and then once someone comes up to the tower and swims up to you, you can pop out and start ink brushing them, which is a very solid, good idea. Or what you could do is on the tower is you could become a sniper and use a charger. I currently don't have a charger because I didn't buy it, but that's one thing you could use if you're good with the chargers. Unfortunately, I'm not good with charging weapons, so I don't really use it when it comes to tower control. Also, you could use anything with the ink armor because the ink armor is actually good. It allows you to take one hit, but the thing is with the ink armor, you have to activate it a couple of seconds before you're gonna get hit, because if you think someone's coming up on you and you activate it, most likely you're gonna die. So as someone's swimming and you think they're coming up to you, activate it early. Always activate ink armor early or you're gonna die, because it's not like Splatoon 1's balloon or bubble, excuse me. It's not like Splatoon 1's bubble. When you activate it, it's instant. This is not instant. I know so many times as of now I would activate ink armor, but I would wait a little bit too long as someone's pretty much pretty much close quarters with me, and I would pretty much instantly die because it takes a little bit to activate. So you could go with ink armor. And then again, the suction bomb is pretty good for this as well. Now for me, when it comes to this mode, I don't really know what's really a good some good abilities to use. Of course, like I've always said, I do love using the special charge up or the special power up, because special power up gives the specials much more stronger. I think they kill faster and they're just more effective if you use the specials up. You could go with run speed. Running's always a good thing when it comes to all these objective modes, running and things like that. You could also use I know another one that's actually really good for tower defense. You could actually use that other one that actually makes you squid jump faster, because you're going to want to squid jump a lot when you're playing tower control. So squid jumping is very good. Unfortunately, you can see I don't have squid jump unlocked. Or I think I do actually on this one. Yep, I have squid jump unlocked. Increase super jump speed, so you can see you jump a little bit faster with that ability. Make sure when you're also choosing abilities, I didn't really go over this too much before, but make sure when you're choosing abilities, make sure they're your primary abilities. What I mean by that is, if you look on the headgear I'm currently clicked on, make sure on the right side where it says special charge up, make sure it's the primary ability. It's not the second, third, or fourth, because the main ability is the main ability on the equipment. I'm actually 100% still not sure how second, third, and fourth abilities on gear actually work, but make sure it is the first ability where it says supercharge up on the right side. And I've said this before as well, you can actually stack abilities in Splatoon. It's not a new thing, but if you would like to stack abilities, you can. So for instance, I can stack 3 main special charges up if they're the main item. Like for instance, if I go to clothing, I'll go to special charge up there, and if I go here, I'll go to special charge up, and then they actually stack, and you do get a bonus for stacking the mains. I don't know about the secondary and third and fourth, of course. I don't know about that, but the mains you can stack, and you do get a bonus. I don't know what the bonus is, but it's a nice little bonus. So by adding all supercharge ups, it'll be the fastest I can possibly get by having all supercharge up. I don't know if you had supercharge up on your second, third, and fourth slot. If you were to combine those all, would it be OP? And it would actually work. I don't think that's how it works, but you can stack main abilities. Another one that's really nice, which I don't have unlocked, you can actually get this sub weapon that's actually a sensor, and you can actually put this sensor on the tower itself or anywhere what game mode you're playing. And basically what the sensor does, it allows you to jump to that certain spot. So the sensor pretty much is another inkling. As you know in Splatoon, or you may not know in Splatoon, you can jump to other inklings, but this little radar, this little thing that spins around, is actually considered another inkling, and you can actually squid jump to it. I don't currently have a sub that actually has that that radar. I know that's not the real name of it, but yeah, you can use that as well. And for tower control, it's very nice. A lot of the times when you're playing tower control, or sometimes, you will see that radar on top of the tower control, and you'll see squids jumping to it, and it can be very, very useful. So that's one sub I would look at as well. There's also this one called Ink Wall, which I currently don't have available either, but the Ink Wall will allow you to throw down a wall of ink. It's like this machine that comes out. It looks like a sprinkler, and that's also good for the tower because you can kind of block off people with that whole ink thing I just said. I kind of forgot the name, it just slipped on me, but what I was just talking about, the ink wall, yes, ink wall, you can kind of bait people, and it's a very good tactic right there. So again, I can't really tell you too much, but those are just my ideas. Depending on what your playstyle is, go ahead and pick some stuff. Honestly, for me, actually, Slosher may actually end up being good for tower defense. Why? Because you can get on the tower, and if you have the high ground with the Slosher or the buckets, you can actually do some pretty good damage, and you can cause some chaos if you're using the Slosher, especially on high ground. Now, for the ink brush, you can't really do too much on high ground, I don't think. But it's just good. You can, like I said before, you can just hide in the ink on the tower and then pop out, come out, and then start going ham on them, which would be very nice. I think what I'm going to do right now for this is, I think I'm going to stick with, actually, since I keep showcasing the dualies, I'm actually going to switch up here real quick. Obviously, in my opinion, I don't think curling bombs would be too useful for this, or like actually a bomb rush special would actually be really good. It's called launcher here, but in Splatoon 1 it was called a bomb rush, but it's the same thing where you can spam multiple bombs once you get your special. Actually, for tower control, that would be a very good special, but this one is the curling bombs, and the curling bombs only go on the floor like hockey pucks. So here, I don't think that would be too useful. Actually, the Aerospray MGs are good, but I always base my setup around the specials, like I said. So what I think I'm going to end up doing is go to the bucket, since I haven't done a bucket gameplay, and I'm going to use the Tenta missiles. Tenta missiles are going to be nice to bait people off the tower, bait people who are trying to get to the tower. It'll just be nice. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And also, it does have a suction bomb, and a suction bomb is going to be great for sticking it to the tower and baiting people off the tower as well. So what I think I'm going to do here is get my special charge up, and then I'm going to go with actually sub power up might not be too bad. This might actually be a kind of useful right now. What I was thinking, I might do ink recovery up as well, because if you didn't know, in my opinion, I feel like the buckets run out of ink too fast. That's just me, but I could be wrong. So let me go ahead and click on I'm actually going to do, yes, sub power up, and it also has a squid jump, which makes it faster. And then I'm actually going to do what was I going to do? I could do ink recovery up, but then again, I could do a special power up, since in my opinion also, I don't think the Tenta missiles are that great. But I'm not really trying to get kills with the Tenta missiles. I'm just really trying to bait people out of like certain hiding spots and on the tower and things like that. So what I think I'm going to do is do an ink recovery up, and that's going to be my setup for tower defense. I'm going to use a Slosher with special charge up, sub power up, and ink recovery up, and that's going to be my setup for tower defense. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start the match. See you guys in the first match of tower defense. So we're back with another match of tower control, and I did switch up to ink saver and ink recovery. I already had the ink, I think ink recovery or ink saver already on there, but I added a different one. So now I have two, and this should make it a little bit more easier for me to actually get people off the tower. You can see last match I just kept running out of ink, and that was just no good. I still have my special up. Let me go ahead and throw a bomb right there just to bait someone off. I'm backing off a little bit just because I really want my special up as soon as possible. It looks like I'm about to go ahead and get my special. A guy in the tower has it, and man, I'm running out of ink so fast, even with all this on it. Okay, it looks like I'm getting people off the tower. I can't throw a bomb, but there you go. I got a suction cup bomb off finally. Let me see if I can get some people. Where are they at? Dang it, where are they at? Did they all die? It looks like most of their team died right there. I couldn't even use my Tenta missiles, but there you go. I'm just going to stay on the tower. I'm not sure if the tower actually moves if you're off the tower, and I don't know if multiple people on the tower make the tower go faster, but actually I gotta back off now because I got hit with some kind of bomb. I think the bomb I got hit with actually slows me down. It doesn't kill me, but it slows me down, and I walk super slow, so I'm not gonna go over there. I'm gonna get another Tenta missiles, and I'm gonna fire off my Tenta missiles at one guy. Hopefully it'll bait him off or get him away from the tower. It looks like I was able to get my Tenta missile kill. I'm gonna get this sniper as well. Now what I'm going to do is try to go back to the tower, and there is an indicator for the tower. I will have to admit, sometimes it is hard to see the indicator on screen to know where it is. And it looks like we won that match easily. since we won that match easily, I'm going to go ahead and play one more match on video, and then I'm going to get in the video. I think you pretty much got the drift of tower control. That was pretty much a blowout right there, and I got 4 kills in 2 Tenta missile launches, so that's pretty good. Very good right there. Our team killed it right there, and I was pretty much not first place on that match, but I felt like I did really good, and I got a lot of good kills. I even got, I think, 1 Tenta missile kill right there, so that's very good. I'll see you guys later in my next match, which is going to be the final match of the video. Welcome back to the final match of tower control. Let's see if we can actually win this tower control. And honestly, in my opinion, I didn't change up any of my abilities, but what I would say is I would actually remove special up just because this bucket runs out of ink way too fast in my opinion. I would actually go for another ink saver or an ink up or whatever they're called. I would go for one more of those. So if you're planning on using the bucket, I would actually recommend doing a lot of the ink savers and things like that. Okay, looks like they got an ink brush user, and the ink brush user kills me. I've always said this before, but I feel like the ink brush has pretty good range. Maybe not all of them, but some of the brushes have really good ranges, and you have to be careful with those guys too, because a lot of those people with the ink brushes will actually hide in the ink and then pop out and kill you. And they have an ink jet user. I gotta be careful as well. He's going around this guy. It looks like he took out one of my teammates. Okay, gotta throw a bomb. Got a bomb off, but I actually got on the side. It looks like I splatted somebody, and they pretty much KO'd us right there off the tower. No. So we're finally back in the last match of tower control. Now I did change my abilities. The only one I changed was special up. I went with ink recovery. So I have 2 ink recoveries and an ink saver. So that's what I'm using right now, because I just feel like the bucket runs out of ink so fast. And I really got to get these people off the tower. Sure, my Tenta missiles are useful, but I really want to have as much ink as possible because, well, I also have a suction cut bomb, and that's really going to come in useful when I have to bait people off the tower. There you go. I finally got a kill off the tower. Now somebody's using some of those curling bombs, and I got to move away because those could kill me. And it looks like we got control of the tower right now. I'm just going to go ahead and try to ride the tower. Sometimes it is kind of finicky to ride the tower, but we are all in the tower. And you can see on the top of the screen, we're currently winning 60 to 88. It looks like they also have another bucket user. And honestly, that's the first time I've seen another bucket user. Because, I mean, I've been playing this game a while. I don't see many bucket users. I may have seen a couple more, but it's kind of rare that you see a bucket user. But for me, I feel like this is a pretty good setup for tower control. Let me go ahead and go back there. And then a curling bomb kills me. I said I was going back there, but then the curling bomb kills me. I didn't see the curling bomb even coming at me. Let me go ahead and, I don't really need to squid jump because they're not even that far. Let me see if I can get my Tenta missiles up as well. Don't know if I can get my Tenta missiles going, but I am going to try to stick one to it and bait them off. Yep, I got somebody off the tower, and I actually killed him with the suction bomb. And now somebody's in the air using the inkjet, and the inkjet is, I told you, one of the other ones, in my opinion, especially for tower control, can really get the match going. As you can see right there, we pretty much got creamed right there. We were doing good at the beginning, but then they overtook us. I got killed by some curling bombs a couple of times, and then I died from an inkjet. The inkjet is definitely pretty good, especially if you have a lot of special ups. A lot of special ups, and the ones that actually make your specials more powerful. Those could really wreak havoc on you. And you can see right there, the inkjet just played havoc with me at the last. And that one bucket user. If you know how to use a bucket, buckets in close quarters, in my opinion, could really make make you really hate the buckets, because if you're in close quarters with a bucket, man, you can really have a hard time getting around the buckets, and you can easily die a lot. Anyway, guys, peace out. I'll see you guys later in my next video. Don't forget to stay tuned to My Tech News for all the latest and greatest Nintendo news, gaming news, tech news, and also I am still covering a lot of Splatoon 2 content on my channel. So if you'd like to check out Splatoon 2, or you're new to Splatoon 2 or the Splatoon series, feel free to check my channel. I'm going to have playlists. I'm going to be covering every mode, things like that. Anyway, guys, peace out. I'll see you guys later in my next video. I'm out, guys.